Who can ever have a heart so hard that it will not melt on hearing the most lamentable event which once occurred in the world? There was a noble and holy mother who had an only son. This son was the most amiable that can be imagined, innocent, virtuous, beautiful, who loved his mother most tenderly, so much so that he had never caused her the least displeasure, but had ever shown her all respect, obedience, and affection. Hence this mother had placed all her affections on earth in this son. Hear then what happened. This son, through envy, was falsely accused by his enemies, and though the judge knew and himself confessed that he was innocent, yet that he might not offend his enemies, he condemned him to the ignominious death that they had demanded. This poor mother had to suffer the grief of seeing that amiable and beloved son unjustly snatched from her in the flower of his age by a barbarous death, for by dint of torments and drain of all his blood, he was made to die on an infamous gibbet in a public place of execution, and this before her own eyes. Devout souls, what say you? Is not this event and is not this unhappy mother worthy of compassion? You already understand of whom I speak. This son so cruelly executed was our loving Redeemer, Jesus, and this mother was the Blessed Virgin Mary, who for the love she bore us was willing to see him sacrificed to divine justice by the barbarity of men. This great torment then which Mary endured for us, a torment which was more than 1,000 deaths, deserves both our compassion and our gratitude. And that gratitude should be shown by at least meditating upon and pitying her in her sorrows. But she complained to St. Bridget that very few did so, and that the greater part of the world lived in forgetfulness of them. I look around at all who are on earth to see if by chance there are any who pity me and meditate upon my sorrows, and I find that there are very few. Therefore, my daughter, though I am forgotten by many, at least do thou not forget me. Consider my anguish, and imitate, as far as thou canst, my grief. To understand how pleasing it is to the Blessed Virgin that we should remember her dolors, we need only know that in the year 1239 she appeared to 7 devout clients of hers, who were afterwards founders of the religious order of the Servants of Mary, with a black garment in her hand, and desired them, if they wished to please her, often to meditate on her sorrows. For this purpose, and to remind them of her sorrows, she expressed her desire that in the future they should wear that mourning garment. Jesus Christ himself revealed to the Blessed Veronica de Benasco that he is, as it were, more pleased in seeing his mother compassionated than himself. For thus he addressed her, "My daughter, tears shed for my passion are dear to me, but as I love my mother Mary with an immense love, the meditation of the torments which she endured at my death is even more agreeable to me. Wherefore the graces promised by Jesus to those who are devoted to the dolors of Mary are very great." Let us see in the following example how greatly devotion to the dolors of Mary aids in obtaining eternal salvation. Father Inglegrave relates that a certain religious was so tormented with scruples that he was sometimes almost driven to despair. But as he had the greatest devotion to Mary in sorrow, he always had recourse to her in his interior agonies, and felt himself consoled while meditating on her dolors. Death came, and the devil then tormented him more than ever with scruples, and tempted him to despair. When behold, the compassionate mother, seeing her poor son in such anguish, appeared to him, saying, "And thou, my son, why art thou so overcome with sorrow? Why fearest thou so much? Thou who hast so often consoled me by pitying me in my sorrows. But now," she added, "Jesus sends me to console thee. Be comforted then, rejoice, and come with me to heaven." On hearing these consoling words, the devout religious, filled with joy and confidence, tranquilly expired.